Redshift here, doing my part to shift perceptions out of the pink and into the red. The future MGTOW man will be very different than today's MGTOW man. Today's MGTOW man is angry, either from number 1, having been divorce raped, or number 2, from him being frustrated with women due to actually being a TFL, or from number 3, just having had to put up with a lot of crap from ex-girlfriends in the past, or number 4, from his inability to find a good woman and his disgust with the state of women today. But the MGTOW man of the future may very well be calmly disinterested in women. He will have women on standby, either one or multiple women. This standby woman or women will be ones that he calls for sex when he's horny and or when he wants some company for conversational purposes. Other than that, she won't be around him. He won't call her, he won't spend the night at her house, he won't make promises to her, he won't call her his girlfriend, he won't lie to her. Everything will be very transactional. Most of it, he won't lie to her and to bother to keep her around, and he won't lie to her to keep her happy either, right? Everything will be very transactional, in a sense. Most of his time will be spent working or will be spent on hobbies. Women will want to bond with men and will want to have a man to spend time with or have sex with. So women will still chase men. Women will still make themselves available to men. But of course this only works if all or nearly all men are doing this, especially if the men who earn the most money are doing it. Men may want sex more than women do, but women hate being alone and want a man to make them feel like a woman. Women can't feel like women without a man to make her feel taken care of, or without, attention from men because of her looks or whatever, right? But men can feel like men without a woman. Battle, whether it's social revolution, war, or economic warfare, or, pushing technology forward, some kind of, whether it's, or any other kind of battle, right? Battle is what makes men men. Not having a wife or girlfriend. Having a wife or girlfriend is not what makes a man a man. Warfare, battle, pushing progress forward in some way or another, that is what makes men men. And while men may want sex more than women do, and while that may seem to give women the leverage, it only gives women the leverage in the absence of male self-control. In other words, when men act like they need sex, then it gives women power. But if no matter how much they want sex, they refuse to give women the leverage by pursuing women, then it is effectively the same as men not wanting sex more than women. And this self-control puts the power in men's hands, especially since women have emotional weakness and other kinds of weaknesses that they need men for, like, financial weakness, right? People are becoming increasingly cynical regarding religion and are believing it less and less. Take out the greater birth rates of religious people like Muslims, and you would see that atheists are a growing percentage of the population. But this cynicism of the modern age extends beyond just cynicism toward religion, and actually extends to women as well, and politics, and government, and friendship, and all kinds of other things. But regarding women, men are becoming cynical toward women. And while in the future men will no longer hate women, or even be angry at women, they will still be very cynical toward females. Many people have overcome their delusional belief in God, and now men are overcoming their delusional belief in women being angelic creatures. And having taken off the blindfold and seen women for what they are, a man can never unsee it. He can delude himself and get caught up in his hormones and think that the particular individual woman that he has found is different and that therefore he was unfairly painting the rest of women with a broad brush in describing their mercenary nature, their hypergamy, their solipsism, their monkey branching, their dishonesty, etc. But the truth has a certain annoying characteristic of tending to rear its ugly little head up despite the fact that you may have turned your back on it. That's what will happen to such a man who goes back to the plantation. Even if he doesn't marry, even if he legally protects himself, even if all he does is mentally decide that MGTOW is somewhat accurate but is largely oversimplifying in its assertion that all women are like that, such a man will not be spared from eventually having those love chemicals fade away. Such a man will not be able to avoid seeing eventually that his own live-in girlfriend is not exactly what he thought she was when he got together with her, and when he abandoned MGTOW for being too extreme and too negative. Such a man will start to see firsthand that all the things that MGTOW says are actually true. He will see it clearer than ever before and will not be able to deny it to himself, because it will become clearer and clearer as time goes by. Maybe she gains weight, maybe she gets lazy, maybe she texts other guys in inappropriate ways, maybe she's always shifting the blame from herself and onto him and other people, maybe she wastes his money, maybe she refuses to see logic, maybe she's constantly expecting him to pull his share of the weight, but is never pulling her own share. Maybe she never takes responsibility for her bad attitude and her moodiness. Such a man will eventually go MGTOW again because the truth is the truth, and it cannot be ignored forever, especially when it comes to women and cohabitation relationships with women. How much power men regain and how much power men retain after they regain power depends on how strong men become. If men get control of their sex drives and refuse to compromise with women, and refuse to give women anything without the woman giving something of at least equal value in exchange, then men will have great power over women in the future. But if men go right back to simping, then women will regain a lot of the power they lose. Men have to become ruthless when it comes to women. And even after men retake power in society, then men need to stay ruthless when it comes to women. Non-attachment is power. Attachment is weakness. And all happiness is rooted in power, and all misery is rooted in weakness. This has been Redshift. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, then tell a radical MGTOW friend about this channel. And if you didn't, then, I don't know, maybe you'll like some of my older videos better. Peace trucks.